So I don't know if you guys been keeping up with the leaks, but you might have already seen Milo as well as probably Noah J, probably all of them at this point. I'm a little late on making a video on it. I seen it when it first dropped, but didn't really do nothing about it. But Primis may return in Call of Duty Black Ops 2025, whatever that title may be. It is said that they are slated to return. There was a playtesting type thing that people were invited out, and evidently it's, decent enough sources from what people have said, but you got to take it with a grain of salt. You can't believe everything you read. However, we can at least talk about it. But I know the topic is like a half and half thing, but Primis actually coming back is interesting. I won't lie. I don't know what purpose they could serve. I really, truly don't know. If any kind of dedicated crew was going to come back, I honestly thought it was going to be Victus. Here's why. And in fact, I almost want to make a whole video dedicated to this topic. I thought it should have been Victus personally, because they're the only one that when the multiverse got severed and everything pretty much got resetted pretty much, and then had Eddie and Max going into this new world, which now you see where they're at now. Really, Sam kind of got, she better be in this game in the future, like towards the second half of the game. I better get an operator for her, and she better be back in business. That's the biggest disappointment of this, is the fact that she's not here. But Victus was the only ones that actually didn't die and just ceased to exist. But with the Dark Ether coming back and things that were kind of expunged and just ceased to exist, as well as like Element 115 and just all this zombie stuff, it shouldn't have existed anymore. But with Forsaken and everything that's happened since then, and even Modern Warfare Zombies, you can talk about it, but we're not in that anymore. All of a sudden things came back. So as you can see, how can Primis and them come back when Victus is technically the only crew still alive? And I guess Chaos crew as well, but you know what I mean. Because Victus got dealt with the short end of the stick. They did everything. They've only ever done what? Ultimus at the beginning. Well, Ultimus Richtofen at the beginning, even though you could do Maxes, but still, it was always an Ultimus thing. And then when Primis came around, they got frozen. Then they did Richtofen's bidding. And then in the end, you had Zombie Richtofen saying he was so sorry. And they just ceased to exist. But with that being said, it's like, why aren't they the ones coming back instead? Now I know Victus probably isn't the most popular Zombies crew. I get that. But I do believe for story's sake, it would make more sense for them to come back over Primis. But Primis is the most popular. And I am of the one, bring them back. I'm actually on the side of I'm okay with them coming back. I actually don't mind. Primis has always been, well, Ultimus is my favorite. But, with how the world is nowadays, I feel like you can't exactly do Ultimus the right way without offending someone. Primis is just Ultimus with more character involved, in my opinion. What purpose do they serve exactly? That's the part where I'm like, interesting. What do we think of that? Because my issue is, are they just going to bring them back as just they're playable in older maps? Because along with the leak of Primis coming back, there's also the leak of there's potentially 6 round-based zombies for next year as well as one transit style map, which is interesting. I didn't really enjoy transit when it first came out, warmed up around it later, but all in all, I wouldn't mind them trying to swing for the fences again and seeing if they can make that kind of map a little bit better nowadays. Now the limitations that held them back for transit in the beginning don't exist anymore. But yes, Call of Duty 2025 definitely got me more hyped now, which is weird because that shit is still an entire year away. Like, we're not even close to being done with this. We just got the first 2 maps, and now I'm out here being excited for a potential 6 other maps in the whole different Call of Duty. But yes, what purpose can the Primis crew serve now? What I think could happen with things coming back and not truly being gone, you can have them come back as almost not an evil version of themselves. However, I could see Richtofen going to the only people that they know would, to his knowledge, do the right thing and help, and try to help his cause. I really truly don't know who the villain is, because evidently it's going to be a new villain. as well, that's another leak that was said, is that it's going to be a new villain in 2025 Zombies. And the thing is, I don't even view Richtofen necessarily as a villain in this game. I don't. He was someone that was pushed to the edge to do kind of bad things because Weaver tried to kill his family. Now, we don't know the entire story. Why did Maxis get intel to try to assassinate Richtofen? But with that also being said, you kind of got the consequences of you messed up and you killed an innocent family. So it's like, was Richtofen bad prior to that, or was he only bad because of it? And that's what we're probably going to find out. But I could see a type thing where it's going to be Richtofen versus Sam. I feel like Richtofen is going to, since he's in the Dark Ether because of Sam pretty much bringing him in there, I think. I'm wondering if Richtofen is going to get some kind of ether abilities, because, or at least is he going to lose his mind and kind of go to the ultimate route of Richtofen, where he was crazy, had a lust for power, and he's going to try to get it, just kind of like a reminiscent of Moon, where he wants the ultimate power and he takes it from Sam. Is he going to attempt that again? Is he going to enlist the help of Primis? And if Primis do return, which side would they help? If anything, Nikolai entrusted Sam to end the suffering of the timeline and not Eddie, because I mean, at the end of the day, Primis and Ultimus, everyone but Richtofen never trusted Richtofen. They've always hated Richtofen. Even when Primis was doing good, they still always had Richtofen in the back of their minds thinking, well, what's he planning? What's he doing? What's his end goal? It can't be just, can't be just to help. That's not Richtofen. It's always been that way, even in the end. I mean, they warmed up to him a little bit, but all in all, it was still like, no. So it'll be an interesting thing. They bring in Primis. Maybe they're a little older, because I think that was another part of the leak, is that they are potentially the older versions of Primis, which they were already old, but an older version, still badass. Dempsey being like 50s or whatever he may be. I don't even know how old he technically was in Black Ops, but that would be funny. Maybe if he's like in his 60s, he's like Old Man Woods, but still doing stuff. Like, that'd be hilarious to me. But all in all, like, I'm down with them doing it, because one, imagine hearing the quotes. Even though, here's the issue, are they going to replace Takio's voice actor? Because as you guys know, Tom Kane has retired in voicing Takio, not by choice. He had to, which is very, very unfortunate. Health is the most important thing, and he ended up having a stroke, which retired him indefinitely for voicing Takio. So, are they going to try to replace him? Will he be a silent type operator? I'm not sure. It's definitely unfortunate. But I am curious what their plans are if they do bring back Primis, because that's a hurdle you're going to have to, find yourself in. And just one route I hope to God they do not take, and that is using AI to have someone voice Takio. Like, that'd be more disrespectful than just getting someone. I feel like getting someone to replace him isn't disrespectful as long as they at least reached out to him first. But yeah, I know Nolan North, obviously he's back. Steve Bloom, obviously, is still voicing characters to this day, so he'll definitely be back if they decide to do it. And then Fred Tassacor, the voice of Nikolai, as well as many other characters. I mean, all of them voice a lot of characters, but it would be nice hearing Nikolai. Just getting Primis back would be interesting. I just hope they do it right, because one thing is just I hope they don't bring him back solely for operator sales. That's the part where that kind of has me a little concerned. Is he going to come back just for them to sell some operator bundles, and the maps are all just remakes like in BO4, where we're just going to get, I mean, it's already been kind of hinted around that Zombies Chronicles 2 is a thing, and if we're doing transit like, are they just going to do transit again, and instead of transit like, it is transit? There's definitely avenues they could go, and there's a good way of doing it and a bad way of doing it, but all in all, I'm excited about these leaks. I mean, it's probably unfortunate that it got leaked for the people that were making it, but it's what we get to speculate on. It could just totally be false and they're not doing that, never had any plans to do it. That's also an option that's in there, because you really can't believe every single leak you see. But like I said, that doesn't mean you can't talk about them. You definitely can talk about them. But let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about the potential return of Primis. I think it's just Primis. I don't think they said Ultimus. But regardless, what are your thoughts? Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and you guys know the drill. I will see you guys later.